Students of Promise, my name is Shelly. Well, you are in Holmes County, Ohio, and how many of you have been here before? Okay, I see a couple of hands back there, but to some of you, you're brand new here, so we're going to make it a good experience for you. You're in Holmes County, Ohio, where we have about 40,000 in the population, and about half of that population is Amish. And Holmes County is divided into an imaginary line of East and West Holmes County. The west side of Holmes County is this way, and it's mostly English, which is everybody that's not Amish, which would be all of us. We'd be English today. And this side of the county is the east side, and it's the Amish side. So you're going to see a lot of Amish farms today. You're going to see a lot of Amish people. It's called a prayer cap. And this is a prayer cap because the Amish ladies believe that in the Bible, God wants the women to have their heads covered when they pray, so that they do not dishonor their head when they pray to God. And so they're not sure when exactly they would need to pray, so they always wear their prayer cap. This is a prayer cap from this area, and as you can tell, it's kind of round on the back side, so we can tell that these are our Holmes County Amish. Now, if I were to show you a prayer cap that let's see, where did it go? This one, it's a little harder to tell, but it has almost like a heart shape at the top. We would know if we saw somebody with this hat on in this area that they're from Pennsylvania, because these are not our prayer caps. Okay, so I'm going to pass these back. This is a Pennsylvania Amish prayer cap that a woman would wear. Ever since they're like 2 years old, they would be wearing a prayer cap. A little girl would be wearing a prayer cap. So I'll pass those back. You can take a little photo with it if you want to do a little selfie. You know, just stick it on your head and take a selfie. Now, guys, don't put the prayer cap on unless you want to look goofy. Okay? Now, when you're thinking about Amish not having cars or not driving cars, how do they get along if they're going a further distance? Like maybe they have to go to Walmart and it's 10 miles away from their house, and their buggy and their horse, they don't want to take it that far. Does anybody know how they would get to Walmart? Walk? Okay, they could walk. Do you know?
They could take a carriage.
Okay, you could take a carriage, or let's go a little further, they could take a van. But they would take a van that an English person would be driving. They believe in church and state, separating church and state. In this county, they have 95 parochial Amish schools that the little Amish kids go to. They go from 1st to the 8th grade. They only go to 8th grade. After 8th grade, when you're about 14, you'll learn a trade. You might work construction with your dad. You might grow crops. You might be a farmer. But you are out of school in the 8th grade, which is unbelievable, isn't it? It's like you're barely a teenager and you're going to live like an adult. So they have to make good choices. They believe in non-resistance. So they do not believe in fighting in the war. So in this area, you will not see a lot of flags. These are kind of English houses. We're going to get to the Amish ones, but you will not see a lot of flags hanging on the homes because in the Bible, it says don't take an oath. And when you pledge allegiance to the flag, they believe that you're pledging allegiance to something besides Jesus. And so they don't believe in maybe having a flag. They don't believe in fighting in a war to kill someone. So in 1918, the United States made it possible for those people who were nonconformists, those people that didn't want to fight in the war, that they could have a different position. They could maybe help out at a national park. They could help out on farms. They could help out in a different area besides being in the front lines and maybe killing someone. So they are called pacifists. And so are the Mennonites. Pacifists are people that do not want to fight and kill someone. So that's their belief also, and that's the separation of church and state. A long time ago, people had to serve in the military, and that's another reason why. You're going to meet Farmer David Miller here, and he does not have a mustache. He'll have a beard, which the Amish men would have a beard. Once they join the Amish church, they start growing out their beard. And when they get married, they really let it grow out.
We host on many tours here, and if they want buggy rides, this is the fella we used to do that. Tom is approximately, come on out, come on. He's big. He's big. You can take pictures if you so choose. You can touch him. He's a very friendly horse. He's almost 10 years old. And this is normally the kind of horse you'd see if you see a horse racing in carts. They're not the horses they use to ride when they use a ride when they were horse racing riders. But this is the horse that they use. Tom was apparently he couldn't run fast. The horses. Many horses are bred to race, and they can't run fast enough to get sore, and then they're sold to the Amish, and we use them on the road. And after they've been exposed to all the noise and activities and racetracks, it helps make them traffic safe. But it's very important. If we take our horses on the road, we have to deal with road safety too, and if they're shy or scared of cars and trucks, it can get dangerous, and sometimes accidents happen. But if we buy our horses and they've been on the racetrack, usually they don't mind cars and trucks and things. They don't like snowplows. That's the worst. That's the worst thing. Snowplows. And you can understand if a snowplow comes down the road and the blade is down, the snow is moving. And most horses spook about snowplows. But that's the worst thing. But most of them, I could drive him downtown Cleveland and he'd never look at the traffic. I imagine they'd look at me. This is what he pulls with. See these traces? Those get fastened to the buggy. You can fasten them through. You have 3 different holes here. If you want to hitch them, then you have to fasten it according to the size of your horse to the buggy, so you don't hitch them too tight or too loose. You have to fasten this tight. That goes on his belly. It goes fairly tight. It doesn't hurt him. This is looser. This piece is looser. And this keeps the harness in place. This goes under his tail. Now, okay, Tom, what do you think? He probably thinks he's going to give all of you a ride, and he dreads it. He probably thinks you all want to ride, and he doesn't know what he's going to do. So many people. Okay, if you step back, I like to put a bridle on him, and then you can see, then he's ready to hitch to a buggy. You get his teeth on your finger, it'll grind the skin off, and that doesn't feel very good. But the horses, once they get used to it, they'll open their mouth. They'll open their mouth and let the bit in. You need a bit so you control him. In the old days, when your grandparents were still driving horses, they used the G in the hall. You know what direction G is? Anybody know? Nobody knows. Now I'm surprised. G is right. The horse would learn. They teach him. And if you want to go G, you want to go right. You yell at him G. Paul is left. But we don't. Hardly anybody ever uses those terms anymore. Hardly anybody ever uses those terms. Okay, you got to fasten your lines, and you got to get his head. Put his head to a place where he can't just slouch it all the way down and bring him up. Okay. Now he's ready to hitch up. Do you notice what's in the back? In the buggy? Know what that is? Yeah, it's soda pop. Tonight our church has a picnic, so we have that for our drinks. Our church group is going to come together and have a picnic. Now, this is a buggy that we call an open buggy. You know why I call it an open buggy? It has no roof on it. Right, it has no roof on it. See the lights? I got a turning signal. got the lights. They got the regular lights, and then there's the regular lights, and there's got a blinker on the back. Now, that's very typical. These buggies, obviously, we like to use these in the summertime when it's warm. Sometimes it gets pretty warm to sit out in the open like this, and they're light. And they're much lighter to use for the horses than a heavy buggy. Anybody want to drive him? Whoa! 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 Now all I need is a buggy, and I'd hitch him up wide. I'd be good to go. Sure. Sure. Talk to him. Tell him to go. Go. Got to walk with him. Walk with him. Go.
Put on the forehead back.
Easy, easy. Tom.
There you go. That's cool.
Yeah. Somebody else want to drive him? Oh yeah, sure, you're welcome. But you can't say go to him because he doesn't know English. He doesn't know English. You got to say idiot. Yeah, now turn him to the left. Feel their left arm. No, the left arm. Pull the left arm toward the barn. You're pulling the right. There. Now turn the other. Pull the other. There. Perfect. Whoa. Tell him whoa. Whoa. Now pull on the line. See? You learn quick. He's just, I believe, let's see, what is today? Come on. Make a circle around him. Make a circle around him.
Does he bite?
No, he won't fight.
He's scared. It's okay.
He's just 4 days old.
You can touch him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's just 4 days old. He's a boy calf. He's just 4 days old. So on Monday we'll probably take him to the local auction. He'll be sold, and somebody will buy him. If you look straight ahead, my wife has a big garden. You see gardens like that in Cleveland? You have to have land. You have to have land, right? You have to have land. Well, do you like sweet corn? You know what that is? Corn on the cob? That's what's right in front of me. I love sweet corn, and I stagger my plantings so I can. Sometimes I have the first corn by my birthday, July 18th. This year we won't make it. It was too wet in the spring. It's probably going to be by the end of the July. The first rows are going to be ready, and then the main crop is right left of that. Then I planted some last week that just spiked, and I'll plant some more. And some years I've had fresh corn out of the garden up into November. We had a late frost. You see the potatoes, back there are tomatoes, and sweet corn, the pickles, the cucumbers, and the lettuce, and the radishes, and all that. And that's very important to the Amish. Most of us, we like to eat out of our garden. We'll freeze food, put it in the freezer, we'll can it and put it in the basement, and we need it for the winter or any time of the year.
Welcome to the Herb Family Home, and I'm going to do some introductions. And this is Mr. Herb and Miss Herb, and then they have some daughters. We have Lori in the peach, and then we have Wanda is in the blue, and then her little cousin that's 2 days apart is Emmeline, and they also look like cousins, are twins, don't they? Anyway, they have provided a wonderful meal for us, and so I'm going to let Twyla tell you a little bit about it.
These are your salad dressings. The yellow is sweet and sour, red is French. There's homemade peanut butter spread for your bread. And we have the pies are Dutch apple, pumpkin, and peach.
So I hope you got enough to eat at Twyla's house.
So welcome to Ohio State University. My name is Ty Cornute. I'm going to be up your guide. We'll walk you through what today is going to look like. Because y'all ran into some traffic and we got started a little late, we want to speed up a couple of things, especially when it comes to the tour. All right, so today you're going to hear from admissions. You're going to hear from the Office of Diversity and Inclusion's Moral Scholars Program. And then we're going to take a tour. You're going to have lunch at Kennedy Commons, and then we'll go from there. We'll be able to answer any questions that y'all might have throughout the course of the day. So feel free to talk, make this a really awesome experience. Sound good?
And just so I know, what grade are you all in? 9th grade? Going into 10th grade? 11th grade? Any rising seniors? Yes, graduation. Okay, good. So this information is important for all of you, but rising seniors is a really important time for you all to be thinking about this. How many of you know for sure that you want to go to college? Great. How many of you have the money right now to pay for all 4 years? Okay, so I'm the only one. We have the Moral Scholarship Program through the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, and we offer scholarships and educational enrichment to students who contribute to the diversity of this campus. Any questions? Yes?
What do most people in high school do, on their application? What are their activities that they're in, usually when they're
that makes them successful? So we've had, recently I read an application of a student who created a nonprofit where she collected old books and gave them to students who needed them or kids who didn't have money to buy books. We have other groups who are really involved with their high school race relations group. They have kind of the intergroup dialogues and kind of have these different cultural experiences. But a lot of it is really just who you are and what you've contributed, maybe to your friend group, to your peer group, to other areas of your community. What we are not looking for is, oh yeah, I know someone who happens to be Puerto Rican and that's how I learned about Puerto Rico. Not enough, right? So we want you to actually take an action around what it is that you're passionate about.
My name is Marcos Cruz, and I'm a staff member here in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions here at The Ohio State University. Just to give you an idea, the program that I work in, I work with a lot of students even before they get to the application process in developing a college-going culture, especially at home. So I work with parents and students. And so the presentation that I have for you all today is me wanting to help you answer this question of why college. All right, and we're going to use Ohio State as the model to answer this question. But this is a question that you all have to answer for yourselves. Why do I want to go off to college? Why is it that I want to graduate with my degree? And I want you to let that simmer, and when you're on campus today, try to envision yourself on Ohio State's campus.
We're going to go take a look at the Union. We'll take a look at the Oval, the library. We stopped by the stadium. This is a smaller classroom. This is actually a larger, small classroom on campus. But we're going to also take you to a lecture hall so you can kind of compare and contrast what that looks like in terms of classes and what you can expect. A place like OSU, we have lecture halls as large as 500 to 1,000, right?
I think
that's what we got. Okay, so 700 students. So we're going to stop there so you can take a look at that. And then we'll stop at the art pack on the way back before we stop for lunch. Sound good?
And like I said, this is Anderson Hall, Hale Hall, used to be known as Anderson and Admissions. This was actually the very, very first union that we had on campus. So it's one of the oldest buildings, and it was the vision of the person, Dr. Hale, who the building is named after for us to operate in that space. To y'all's right, my left, this is Baker Hall, and there's 4 buildings on the other side of that as well. Those are where a lot of the freshmen who move into campus will be. One of the requirements that OSU has is that you live on campus for at least 2 years before moving off. And so they created a lot more capacity to take care of all of that. Right here to y'all's left, my right, is the South Oval, and a lot of times we have big free concerts here. So last year they had Big Sean here, and pretty much this entire space, everything that you could see was a sea of people, all the way up to the sidewalk, into the street, everything. It was pretty crazy. So every year, part of paying your fees, you get an experience like free concerts with the biggest artists and things of that nature on a regular basis. We're at the Ohio Union. This is one of the largest in the nation, period, across the nation. No matter what school you go to, you'll not find a much bigger union than the one that you see right behind us, or right behind me. We're about to walk in though, and you can kind of see there's different restaurants, there's different places where students come in to just kind of kick it and study. They really wanted to make this feel like your family room at home, where you can just really come and feel comfortable and spend a lot of time here. So we're going to go in, take a look around, and then we'll head back out to the main oval. All right. One of the things that's really dope about it is that Ohio State used to be a part of the Underground Railroad, and a lot of people would stop here. And so as paying homage to the role that Ohio State played back in the day, they always keep those lights on, and they're shaped like a lantern to represent what that was. All right? All right, let's keep moving. Has anyone ever seen a beach with grass? No. All right, you're looking at one. All right, so right now we're on the Oval. This is also known as Oval Beach. And during the spring, look, you can see people laid out playing games and all of that. There's really no students here right now, but literally when class is in session, this is really jumping. And so everybody comes out, listening to music, playing like throwing the football, whatever the case may be.